Okay, the days before lockdown, there is very little here. There is very little here. We did get a surprise at the end of the show, but there wasn't that much. Let's just go to Freedom At. It upsets me that I like Impact. I love Impact. But still doesn't feel substantial enough. Now, mind you, it was not bad, but it doesn't feel like it's enough. Look, opening with Swan and Mr. Elegance, it really didn't mean a lot. Unless they're going to develop Swan, which it seems like they are because of the Righteous wanting BDE. So they will be doing something with BDE and Swan where they want to get BDE away from Swan so they can do something with him. But then I'm like, guys, didn't they go through the lake of regeneration? They still act the same way. And that's a major flaw with the story when they had with the Hardys. They have not changed a bit. I think they need to change, and they didn't, and I think that hurt them a bit. But the BDE dealing with Swan and them, that might be interesting. Moving on. Let's be about this TV title match. Did I care about Jada Stone? No. Do I care about Heather by Elegance? Yes. Did I think that Heather was going to win? Yeah, I thought they may go there with Heather. But I also knew, and I did say this in previous videos, the way they're pushing Jada, I would not be surprised if it's not going to be M versus Heather. It's going to be M versus a Jada Stone, where they really have gotten high on Jada Stone to the point where they're willing to let a newcomer have their new minted women's title. And I'm like, I'm being honest here. I'm not against women. Never have been, never will be. I'm not against women wrestlers. Never have been, never will be. All I care about is you booking them correctly and making a story or a title mean something. I see nothing here. If Jada wins that damn title, it does not validate the title. It doesn't give her prestige. It is not meant against Jada. She has not been in the company long enough. If you gave it to M and she was going up against someone like Rosemary or Allie, who had been known in the company for quite a while, that would give it some credibility. That would give it some prestige. But you didn't let Rosemary go through it. She's disappeared still, and they're wondering what happened to her still. You didn't let Allie go to the end. You didn't let Tasha Steelz go to the end. You didn't let Alicia, yes, I know, Alicia's not the greatest wrestler. She is not. But she's been there long enough that she could have meant something. If you had managed to get an older wrestler who had been through TNA before, like a Chelsea Green, which I know she's not going to be there, especially with an orbital bone break. She's not there, of course. Laura Van Ness, that would have been nice to see Laura Van Ness back in TNA. Of course, she's not there because that's Chelsea Green. I'm not saying ODB would be a really great choice, because as far as I know, she doesn't wrestle anymore. But it could have been ODB. It could have been any member of the Beautiful People if either one of them was willing to at least wrestle a little bit. As far as I know, Angelina Love still wrestles. Velvet does not, as far as I can tell. But I feel like they needed it. They needed someone with prestige, someone with a history, or at least a good amount of years under the belt to be near the end of this, and either Jada would win with either a legend or a veteran of the business. Yeah, that would have been better. But you have M. And then you have, I'm being honest here, between the two, who's got the most experience, it's going to be M. And you're going to say, dude, are you serious? Jada's been great. She works great on the indies. It makes no difference about the indies. Again, it's about how the company has booked her. She has not been there long enough. And then the way they booked her does not mean she's the best person to have that damn title. So now you got M, who has been in the company for quite a while, longer than Jada, but then I'm not fond of seeing her win it either. I would rather see her win it if there was a veteran there by her side that worked with her in the ring. No, she's not working with that. She's working with Jada. So you got M, if she does win, doesn't really give it a lot of prestige at all. Even though she's been there a while, she needed a veteran to go up against to win it. And then you got Jada Stone, who has barely been there, who really doesn't have as much personality as everyone keeps thinking she does. And I'm not even against her. I'm just telling you how they booked her. Remember, this is about TNA's booking. Whether you can't stand that it was Tommy who made that choice, or now it's Road Dogg or Delirious, I don't care. She does not have enough charisma and personality because they have not really pushed her enough. Not in the way of matches, but in the way of story. So you got two women who one of them is been on the company long enough that if she won it wouldn't hurt. But then she's not going against a veteran. And you got someone who has not been in the company very long, who has not been developed like M has, working with Ash of Elegance, working with Heather, working with Iceman, working with Rosemary, working with Allie, who just recently returned. She's worked with a lot of people, but then they have barely worked with Jada Stone. So one is not a bad choice, but she needed a veteran to go up against. And then the other one is a totally bad choice, and she's going up against someone who actually needs a veteran. I'm moving on. Next match. Brian Myers versus... What do I really feel about this? Honestly, I don't know how to feel about this. I don't. Really. Let me see. I really don't know how I feel about it. Brian did the job, but it doesn't feel important. I didn't even write anything down in notes. I just feel like they needed more. Because, yes, this was with Eichner. This was supposed to be for Lethal Lockdown. Yes. This is for the team to get the advantage. This has been done for years. Yes. But it felt like it needs something else. It felt like they needed a better stipulation. Like, maybe whoever wins gets the first crack at the weapons. Or brings in weapons. When the other team cannot. Something. But it's not. So it's not a bad thing that Brian won. But then it's kind of bad at the same time because it felt like it needed something else. Next match. This is about Haunch versus Skylar. There really wasn't that much of a match. Not saying it was a bad match between the two because it was a good match. This was about story. Ali wanted to make it clear that he wants Haunch's head on a platter. He told Skylar, that's your friend. Screw that. You're going to do what I tell you because loyalty. Like America. And pretty much have a match which didn't lead anywhere because in the middle of that match, you got Mira Moore coming out being told by Ali, hey, you got to take him out. And the match keeps going. And then Ali comes, he sends his entourage out to distract. And then Agent Zero kicks Haunch in the face. Not Skylar, Haunch. Skylar rolls out the ring. You see the belt being held above his head. And that's Ali, and that's it. This is what their story is, and it's a good one. I'm not saying it's bad, it's good. Seeing how they're booking Skylar and they're booking Ali, I have no problem with it. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how far they're going to go with it. But it just feels... I wish the match had not happened. Because I wouldn't have mind seeing Skylar versus Haunch if Skylar turned on Haunch. That's just me. You guys something below. Okay. 8-man tag. Really didn't care about the 8-man tag. I did. And that was Nemesis versus... Nemesis with AJF and Kaz versus the Hardys, Elijah, and Moose. It was an alright match. Jeff got the pin off of AJF. AJ Francis was willing to do the job. But then it gets interesting. And, almost forgot. How did I feel about the Elena Black segment with Xia Brookside? Dry. Almost forgot. Dry. Xia was the problem. The way Xia talked seemed so monotone, it felt dry as fuck. So I was not as interested as I should be. Now, I'm not saying that Elena Black's a great when it comes to doing any segments like that, doing her promo work, doing her mic work. She doesn't always come off as a very good talker. She can talk, but not a great one. Sometimes she can do good, sometimes she doesn't. But Zaya sounded so, guys, she sounded so monotone. It was like she was reading a paper in front of her. That hurted. But this is just me. Almost forgot the match that I really believe should have been on lockdown. Harley Hudson versus Alicia Edwards. If Alicia wins, Harley's contract is basically killed. And she is leaving the company because Daria Ray said in the last year and a half she only won 4 times. And that's not acceptable. You got to win now or you're out. And she managed to win. And you see Alicia and her husband doing everything they can to cheat. In the end, she still won. And pretty much, she almost got laid out by Eddie Edwards until Jada Stone came out. I don't know why Jada came out. But I'm going to be honest here. Did I care about this? A little bit. Because it's Harley Hudson. There is something about this woman. Take away the pink and red hair. Because I think if she was a brunette, yeah, I don't have dark hair anymore. Look, guys, I'm an old gray man. What do you expect? But I think she's gorgeous if she just was a brunette. But taking away that I don't like her hair. She's a very good wrestler. She talks well. She's freaking sexy. She has a lot what TNA wants in a knockout. And why, for all that is making sense, why not put this on the show? The start time is at 6. You can't tell me they can't, 6, 7, 8, 9? 9:30? 4.5 hours? You're telling me you wouldn't go there and put an extra 30 minutes on the card so you can literally have Harley Hudson have that moment with Alicia where it's about keeping her job. I think that was a wasted opportunity. I'm not telling you it would have been a great story because they didn't really make it important enough. But the point is, it is a story that is for someone who's hopefully not leaving the company. Because we already lost Jody Threat. We already lost Mara Sage. Finally, let me give it to you like this. Cedric Alexander getting laid out. I'm going to make this clear. There's only one person I can think of. Well, there's a few. But the one person I'm really thinking about that Cedric knows pretty well, there's only one. If it's not Ali, it's only one person. And only one. You know who it is. Apollo Crews, the Uru Nation. Uga, what is his name? Uraga Nation. He's back. Because he knows Cedric. There's the only person that would do it, the former Apollo Crews. He just came back a while ago, but he's been gone. I believe he is in, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, he did come to TNA. It's been a while since I've seen him, so I forgot how he pronounced his name. Hoodoo Nation? Or Huru Nation? Can't remember it. I'm just calling him Apollo Crews. He's the only one that would make sense to lay out Cedric. But I wouldn't understand him laying out Moose. So that's the most best person I could think of, other than one other person that maybe knows both of them very well. That is not Apollo Crews. Austin Creed. Austin Creed, if I remember correctly, had a chance years ago to work for TNA. And he did. So he knows people in TNA. Many people have gone to TNA. He has worked in TNA, remember, with guess who? Kofi Kingston. I don't know if Kofi's going to be there, but there's a possibility that both of them are going to TNA because it's expired now by now. Their contracts for the, 90-day clause, I believe is now done. And if I'm right, there's a good possibility that it's Austin Creed. I could be wrong, but that's just me. It could still be Uru Nation. Uga Uha. Uha Nation. That's what I believe it is. But it's just me. Peace.